Hi guys, meteorologist Lindsey Slater here. So we do have a kind of a complicated forecast. So today there's really no big issues out there. I have highs getting into the low 40s. We'll likely see some sunshine by the end of the day today. And I will go ahead and show you some cloud cover if we can see right here. We're pretty overcast for a good chunk of the day today. And then as we go through time, I think by about right around sunset, we'll start to see those clouds break up, be a little bit clear overnight before the next weather system arrives. And that one is going to be something that arrives for Thursday afternoon. This is not going to be something that bothers us quite yet. So I'm going to go to the H trip and show you the 12Z model that does highlight. You can see that purple freezing line right here. This is actually really essential to our forecast, and you're going to see why that is as we go to the weekend, which does feature another weather system, of course. But right there, here comes the rain coming in right now, and this is going to be happening. I would say between 2 and 3 o'clock, we're going to see this rain coming in from the southwest pushing northeast. By about the evening commute time, everybody is going to be experiencing this light rain. I would expect some of this rain to be more intense at times. We don't really have a lot of energy in the atmosphere, but we do have we have some lift in the atmosphere. And that is something that you can actually look at from the 700 millibar level. So if the surface is 1,000 millibars, we're talking 700 millibars. So up in the atmosphere. And you can see there is some lifting going on in the atmosphere. So that shows me that there's some intensity when it comes to this particular area of low pressure right here. And it's a pretty good one. It goes right over Milwaukee, basically. This is a dry slot. That's what goes into the systems. It like punches in on the backside of lows. Those can be pretty tough sometimes because dry slots can totally screw over a snow forecast. It can also totally change how severe weather turns out. I do believe if we go to the Storm Prediction Center's website, they do actually have an outlook rather for some of tomorrow. Very marginal though. You can see there's only a 2% hashtag for like Arkansas, southern Missouri, wind and small hail parameters, but nothing too serious. They actually have a bigger potential for some severe weather in Mississippi and also in Louisiana heading into Friday. That's with the cold front. For us, we're just looking at rain for Thursday, and then you see this big line of snow stretching basically from Kansas all the way through into Iowa, through western Wisconsin, up into Green Bay. That is definitely a possibility. We stay out of that. We're just a little bit too warm for that. If I go to the NAM, you can see on the backside, and look at how different those solutions were. Do you see that? It was it was very different. Backside of that system, we could have a couple of flurries, but we also have another weather system on the way. So I want to take this map out and show you a little bit of there are two different systems going on here. And this is what makes this forecast a little bit tricky. So I'm going to take a screenshot here and kind of draw on it so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So we have two different areas of low pressure. We have one up here. That's where one is, and there's one down here. So this one is a little bit more convective. This one here is going to be going that direction. That's the one that could be associated with that potential severe weather. I would guess it's right here with the cold front. We also have another area of low pressure, and it's up here. You can see it right here. These two are interacting and moving at the same time. We're caught right in the middle. So when they come together, we call that phasing. I don't think they're going to come together. If they were to come together, this would be a much bigger deal for us going into Saturday, but it doesn't look like they're going to come together. And how they each work independently of one another directly impacts how our forecast turns out, which makes it super tough. So that's kind of what we're looking at here. I do believe they're kind of each working together, and eventually they're probably going to phase together going to the East Coast. They'll kind of bomb out a little bit, but I'll show you as we go through time. You see how it kind of fills in here? That is all going to be directly dependent on how that system matures and how this system matures, which makes this forecast, as I said, pretty tough. Here's the GFS. You can see it does kind of give us a little bit more in the way of snow, but I'll go ahead and zoom in the map a little bit so we can kind of get a better idea. Now that you have the big picture on these two systems right here, there is some potential. We're so close to that freezing line. See, I told you it would come back. That freezing line is so essential because this event could very well start as rain first, or it could be snow first. That also is going to decide what kind of amounts we're talking about. The latest 6Z model, I'm waiting on the 12Z. Latest 6Z does keep this more as rain, but I can tell you, looking at some other weather models that I can't show here, they're not on here. We have one locally here called the Barron model. That one kind of picked it more as more as a rain start than to snow. Regardless, it is going to be a wet snow. As far as how much is concerned, I am kind of looking at a 3 to 5 incher at this point. I would expect the 5 inches could be up here, maybe up to 3 here. Again, that all just depends on what weather model you believe. The European weather model barely is like a 1 to 3 inch forecast for Saturday. So the other models don't go out that far. So it is a very interesting thing to note. Behind this, though, we are going to be getting cooler. So this is today, tomorrow, Friday, a little cooler. Then we go with right here through the weekend. There's system 1, system 2 is down here, or over here rather. And you can see we do get cool going into Sunday. A little bit of a warm spell there, but some cooler air also arriving. I don't think that the warm air is going to last into a lot of next week. So that is something I'm really monitoring for potential of us getting kind of colder again. Not super cold, but I would just say it's going to be a little bit below average. But we're still in the middle of this 40s stretch right now. This is what 40s looks like in January. So we are still really hanging on to some really mild temperatures right there. These are our 40s that we're getting right now. We maintain. I went 50 tomorrow, and then we see that temperature drop as that system progresses over the weekend. So I'm actually off on Thursday, Friday through the weekend, but I will be posting regular updates. I might do a YouTube video maybe on Friday to highlight our weekend potential. I'll just do it from home. But otherwise, you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.